What is up guys, Large Grandma 52 here, and today we're reacting to the brand new NBA 2K46 trailer. Let's see what sort of gameplay we're in for this time. Basketball. Yo! What is up Cruzy, and welcome back to the same haircut I've always had. How do companies get away with selling the same game every year? Hello! 3 things in life are certain. Death, taxes, and the new FIFA game being indistinguishable from the last. It's basically an accepted fact at this point that no matter what, the big 3 will be releasing pretty much the exact same game every single year. The big 3, of course, being NBA 2K, FIFA, now known as FC, which of course stands for Football Game, and everyone's favourite bread sandwich of a shooter, Call of Duty. These 3 series are well known as some of the most popular video games out there, and is a trilogy I'm still trying to wrap my head around storyline wise. So they start off by kicking ball, and then they learn they can pick up ball, and then Steph Curry gets angry and starts shooting people. I'm confused. It makes complete sense that these games are so popular as they're unbelievably easy to understand, don't require any knowledge of past games or a storyline, and are based on the world's favourite 3 sports. Now, before you say anything, don't worry, I'm not one of those guys who's going to be like, oh, you play sports game or shooting game? Yikes. I'll be over here playing my favourite indie game, Brinky's Big Day 2, Revenge of Plungus. Also, I don't wash. No, these games are undeniably pretty good. They're simple, they do as advertised, and just work except when they don't. And I'm not embarrassed to say, even I'm a sports game enjoyer. I play PGA Tour all the time. When I was a kid, I used to play the 2005 GameCube version with my dad constantly, and you best believe he let me win every time. And sure, I suck at it nowadays, but listen, this one time, I very nearly got the ball in the hole. So rest assured, this video isn't about how all these games are bad, because objectively, they're not. They're well-made games that appeal to a lot of people, and I think that's great. Yeah, they're really bland and incredibly simple, but not every single game needs to be a story-driven MMORPG roguelike. No, sometimes you just want to kick ball virtually. I don't play FIFA, 2K or COD, but the short experiences I've had with them have been pretty good. I don't hate these games. But what I do hate is the fact that, oh my god, how on earth do these companies get away with selling what is essentially the previous game copy and pasted with a few graphical enhancements and a new mode nobody cares about for $70. Not some special collector's edition, not the deluxe version that gets you all the DLC, a bog standard copy, $70. If you want the special edition, that'll be $100. That sort of price for one video game, one piece of media, is insane. That's the equivalent of $71 hot dogs. Do you have any idea how full that'd make me? Oh, what's that? Oh, all video games these days cost that much? Okay, well, first of all, no they don't. Don't be ridiculous, a lot of games these days are literally free. Oh, but they have microtransactions. Okay, fair enough. Well, here's a nifty money saving trick. Don't buy them. But sure, you know, fair enough. The common price for AAA games these days is about $70. For new games? These aren't new games. This is the equivalent of painting the carrot that's been in your fridge for 10 months orange and saying, oh, it's freshly picked. In the current age of gaming, where a pretty huge amount of games are either completely free or available on services like Game Pass or PS Plus for really cheap, the fact that this format of releasing yearly games for this much money still exists is insane to me. Now, am I saying that they should be releasing all these games for free every year? No, that realistically wouldn't be a very good business model. What I am saying is, do you really need to be releasing this many at all? Surely it's not just me that sees absolutely no difference between the 2025 and 2024 versions of these games. Like, I'm sorry, I just cannot tell the difference. I don't get the point of buying one over the other. I bet you all the money I have that you could not tell me which Call of Duty game this is. Okay, that was kind of an unfair bet. This is Battlefield 3. But seriously, as a consumer, alright, believe it or not, MewZe is not a company just yet. I do not see any reason at all as to why I would want to buy more than one of these games. Because to me, someone who isn't massively interested in any of these series, these look identical. I'm not trying to be negative, I truly view these games as being the exact same, and I don't think I'm alone with that. The only thing that would motivate me to get one of these games over the other is whichever one my friends have. Because imagine spending so much money on one of these games only to find out, oh sorry, the number at the end of mine is different so we can't play together. That sucks. Especially when gameplay wise they may as well be the same. I know I'm bringing it up again, but man, games like Fortnite are just so much better than this. There's no Fortnite 2 or Fortnite 3 or Fortnite, you know, Jonesy edition. It's just one Fortnite and you can play it with anyone on any platform. Imagine how much better it would be if there was just one FIFA that got updated now and again. If there was just one Call of Duty that got, you know, new campaigns and new game modes and new maps. Like, why split it off into these different games for so much money when you're just restricting people from being able to play with each other? Is that not what playing games is about? Having fun with friends? However, there are some games that I think do work as yearly releases. For example, Just Dance. There's a new one every year that has new music that just makes sense. And yet, even they made a game where you can play all of them. It's as if games like this just don't care about the players and only exist to make money. And that leads me on to the content of these games. There's none. These games have the depth of a well that hasn't been dug yet. It's crazy how it's become so normalised and okay for companies to put barely any effort into their games. I know I joked about indie games earlier, but man, the sheer difference in quality and the amount of content in these games made by one person and a game made by the entire population of Vatican City is bonkers. And these indie games are way cheaper, and yet they still manage to hold more content than these million-dollar AAA games. These games feel hollow and made purely to sell rather than out of passion from the developers who put what feels like no effort in. But who can blame them when the publishers don't give them nearly enough time to actually make something substantial? And no matter what they release, the general public are going to buy it anyway, so why even bother? Which got me thinking, are we the problem? Despite the complaints these games get about being lazy, the general public still buys them anyway, so it wouldn't really make sense for these companies to even try. In fact, maybe if they actually changed significant features or added a bunch of new content, it'd sell worse. And that's not me saying, oh, the general public are stupid, whereas I am the opposite of stupid. I've forgotten the word. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of the people who buy these games are fully aware that the new version is basically the previous one, and just buy it anyway. So sure, the developers could logically put more effort in, but I doubt people would actually even care if they did. People aren't really interested in these games actually evolving because that's just the way they are. They just stay in the same space forever and that's just accepted by them. Because most of the people complaining don't actually care about these games evolving. They just want something to complain about. It's so much easier to just complain about something for the sake of complaining than to actually push for change. Do I even care? I don't play any of these games and yet here I am complaining about the lackluster sequels, like they affect my life in any way. Yeah, I do think these games suck for being so expensive for what they are, and I feel like it does make more sense to just get one version of the game rather than replacing it every year. But at that point, who am I to say what people should do with their money when it's going towards making them happy? Yeah, sure, I am a YouTuber, so my opinion is much more important than everyone else's, but no matter how good my points are in this video, they don't really matter because these games are made to make people happy, and that's what they do most of the time.
I'm gonna break my monitor.
Is it financially beneficial to buy a donut on your way to work? No, but who cares? You bought it. It was yummy, and it made you happy. You're not going to find someone ranting about how buying food you like is stopping you from becoming a real hustler, unless it's this prick. How you find happiness through life is subjective to you. So who cares if it's through a mediocre basketball game that costs 1,419 pesos? These games are lazy and too expensive. Should these issues be fixed? Absolutely. But when you see people complaining about these games, I don't think they actually really care and just enjoy hating on it because it's popular to. It happens all the time. People find something that's socially acceptable to hate on and just run with it. And it happens on so many levels, from pieces of media to actual human beings. And a lot of the time, they don't really deserve it. Sometimes they do, obviously, but you'd be surprised how often people are made to feel a certain way and just don't care. So my only request is maybe consider viewing life from an open perspective. Give the new Call of Duty game a go and maybe you'll find out that you actually really like it. If you don't, okay, you can probably refund it. I don't like FIFA or 2K and COD is just okay to me. But I can appreciate that they do make a lot of people happy. And isn't that all that really matters? So yeah, in conclusion, if you play any of these games, you're a massive loser baby bitch. Smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, which will also have an inexplicably deep ending. Join the Discord to get your fan art featured. Please. Please.